hello, 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 hello. Hello. Okay, is it good?
Thou wretched boy that disconcert him here, shalt with him hence.
Figure this one out for someone else. Okay, sounds good. Got it?
Good evening and welcome to the Bankhead Community Theater's debut performance, Shakespeare in the Park. At this time, we would like to ask for a moment of silence for the tragedy that has affected our community. Thank you. Please take this time to silence all cell phones and electronic devices. Content warnings for this show include fighting with weapons, death, gore, and simulated suicide. Now sit back and enjoy this series of some of Shakespeare's best works. We now present Shakespeare in the Park.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their entrances and exits, and one man in his time plays many parts, his act being in 7 stages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Then, the schoolboy, with shining morning face and satchel, creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. And then, the lover, sighing like a furnace with a woeful ballad made to fit his mistress's eyebrow. Then, a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like a pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble of reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then, a justice, with fair round belly and good cape lined, with eyes severe and a formal cut, full of wise sayings and formal instances. And so, he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into a lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank. Turning again towards a childish tremble, his pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, which ends this strange, eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sun's teeth, sun's eyes, sun's everything.
2 households both alike in dignity, and fair Verona where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal lines of these 2 foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventure piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which, but their children's end, naught could remove, is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage, the which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Hi, me. Sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love?
Out
Of love?
out of her favor where I am in love.
Alas, that love so gentle in his view should be so tyrannous and rough in proof.
Alas, that love whose view is muffled still, that should without eyes see pathways to his will. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. This love feel I, that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz I'd rather weep.
Good heart? At what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
What? What for? What for? Why such are love's transgressions? Griefs of mine own lie heavy on my breast. dost add too much to too much of mine own. Farewell, my cuz.
Soft, I go along. And if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
Tut, I've lost myself. This is not me. I am not Romeo. He is some other where.
Tell me, in sadness, who is it that you love?
What shall I groan and tell thee?
Grown? Why no? But sadly, tell me who.
A sick man in sadness makes his will a word ill-urged to one so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love him.
I am so near, and I suppose you love.
A right fair mark, and she's fair that I love.
A right fair mark, fair cuz, as soon as hit.
That hit you miss. She will not be hit with Cupid's arrow, for she hath Diane's wit.
And she has sworn to still live chaste?
She hath, and in that sparing makes huge waste. She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow I live dead, that live to tell it now.
You ruled by me. Forget to think of her.
Oh, do teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes, and examine other beauties.
'Tis to call hers exquisite that is in question more. Show me a mistress that is passing fair, and what doth her beauty serve but as a note that may show who passed that passing fair? Farewell. Thou can't teach me how to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine, else die in debt.
I used to hear a simple song.
Just as scars that never felt a wound.
That was until you came along. Now in its place is something new. I hear it when I look at you.
What's soft? What light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious food that is already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. Be not her maid, she is envious. Her vestal is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady. Oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, but she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. Ah, I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven do entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres until they return. See how she rests her hand upon. Oh, that I were a glove on that hand, that I may touch that cheek.
By me.
She speaks. Speak again, bright angel.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or if that will not, be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though, not a Montague. What's a Montague? There's nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face. Oh, be some other name belonging to a man. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other word would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owns without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for thy name which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I shall never be Romeo.
What man art thou that, thus bescreened in night, so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name, I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, and an enemy to thee. Had I read it, I would tear the word.
My ears have yet not drunk 100 words of thy tongue's uttering, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair maid, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither, tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
On love's light wings did I approach these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out. And, if thou love me, let them find me here. Thy kinsmen are no stop to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Hark, alack, there lies more peril in thine eye than 20 of their swords. So, let them find me here.
I would not for the world they saw thee here.
I have nice cloak to hide me from their eyes. But thou love me, let them find me here. And let them be proof of my enmity.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush but paint my cheek for that which thou hadst heard me speak tonight. Dost thou love me? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word, but if thou swearest, thou mayst prove false. Oh, gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or, if thou thinkest that I'm too quickly won, I'll frown or be perverse to say thee nay, so thou wilt woo, but else not for the world. In truth, fair Montague, I am too fond.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all. Or if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, and I'll believe thee. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden. Sweet good night. This bud of love by summer's ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. I hear some noise from within, I do. Anon, good nurse! Sweet Montague, be true. Stay a little, I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night. I am afeard. Being a knight, 'tis all but a dream. Too sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and a good night indeed. If thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word by tomorrow, one that I'll procure and come to thee, where and what time that will perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and I'll follow thee, my lord, throughout the world. But, if thou meanest not well, I do beseech thee to cease thy strife and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow I will send.
So thrive my soul.
Romeo,
My dear,
what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
by the hour of 9?
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 year till then. Good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep dwell in thy eye, peace in thy breast. Oh, that I were sleep in peace, so sleep to rest. And so, hence I will to my ghostly friar's close cell, his help to crave, and my hap to tell.
Riddle-like lives, sweetly where she dies.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him, that's not so. It's 3 long hours. Yet she has not come. Had she affections and warm youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me. But old folks, many fain as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh God, she comes! Oh, honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Oh, Lord, why lookest thou sad? No news be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good, thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face.
Oh, I am a-weary. Give me leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache.
I would that.
Oh, John, have I.
I would thou hadst my bones and died thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good nurse, speak.
Oh, Jesu, what haste! Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I am out of breath?
How art thou out of breath if thou hadst breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? The excuse that thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tale thou dost excuse. Is the news good or bad? Answer to that. Say either, and I'll say the circumstance. Let me be satisfied. Is it good or bad?
Well, you know not how to choose a man. Romeo? No, not he. Though his face be better than any man's, yet his leg excels all men's. And for a hand and a foot and a body, though they be not talked on, yet they are past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy, though I'll warrant him as gentle as a lamb.
But all this did I know before. What says he of a marriage? What of that?
Oh, Lord, my head! How my head doth ache! It beats as if it would fall into 20 pieces. Oh, my back. Oh, the other side. Oh, my back. Be sure your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jaunting up and down.
Ay, Faith, I'm sorry thou art not well. Sweet nurse. What says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and a handsome, and I'll warrant a virtuous. Where is your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou replies. Your love says, like an honest gentleman. Where is your mother?
Oh, God's lady dear, are you so hot? Mary, come up, I trow. Is this the poultice of my aching bones? Henceforward, do your messages yourself.
Here's such a coil. Come, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to shrift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks, and they'll be scarlet at any news. I'll go the other way to fetch you a ladder by the which your love must climb the bird's nest when it is dark. I am the drudge and toil to your delight, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go, I'll to dinner. Hie you to the cell.
Hie you to high fortune. Oh, honest nurse, farewell.
I pray thee, good Mercutio, the day is hot, the capitals are abroad, and if we meet we shall escape a brawl. For now, these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of those fellows that, when he enters the confines of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table and says, God send me no need of thee. And by the operation of the second cup, draws him on the jar when indeed there's no need.
Am I like such fellow?
Come, thou art as hot a jack in thy mood as in Italy, and as soon moved to be moody, and as soon moody to be moved.
And what two?
Nay, and if there were two such, we would have none shortly, for one would kill the other. Thou, why, thou wilt quarrel with a man that hath a hair more or a hair less in his beard than thou hast. Thou wilt quarrel with a man for cracking nuts, having no other reason but because thou hast hazel eyes. What eye but such an eye would spy out such a quarrel? Didst thou not fall out with a tailor for wearing his new doublet before Easter? And another for tying his new shoes with old ribbon? And yet thou wilt tutor me from quarreling.
I were so apt to quarrel as thou art. Any man should buy the fee simple of my life for an hour and a quarter.
The fee simple. Oh, simple.
By my head, here comes the Capulets.
By my heel, I care not.
Follow me close, for I will speak with them. Gentlemen, good end. A word with one of you.
And but one word with one of us? Couple it with something. Make it the word, and the blow.
You shall find me apt enough to that, sir, and you will give me occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consortest with Romeo.
Consort? What, dost thou make us minstrels? And if thou make minstrels of us, let's hear nothing but discords. Here's my fiddlestick. Here's that shall make you dance. Zounds, consort.
We talk here in the public haunt of men, either withdraw into some private place, or reason coldly of our grievances, or else depart. Here, all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were meant to look, and let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure.
Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man. Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain!
Tybalt, the reason I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to much a meeting. Villain I am none, therefore farewell. I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this does not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore turn and draw!
I do protest. I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise, until thou shalt know the reason of my love. And so, good Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as mine own, be satisfied.
Oh, calm, vile, dishonorable submission! Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Good kinds of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives that I mean to make bold withal. And as you shall use me hereafter, try beat the rest of the 8. Will you pluck your sword out of its pilcher by its ears? Make haste, lest mine be about your ears ere it be out.
I am for you.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up.
Come, sir, you're Posada. I am hurt. Bring them both your houses. I am spent. Is he gone and hath nothing?
What art thou hurt?
I a scratch. Mary, 'tis enough. No, 'tis not as deep as a well, nor as wide as a church door, but it will serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find a grave man. I am peppered, I warrant, for this world. A braggart, a rogue, the villain that fights by the book of arithmetic. Why, the devil came in between us. I was hurt under your arm.
Thought all for the best.
Help me to some house, Benvolio, or I shall faint. The plague of both your houses!
My very friend hath got his mortal hurt on my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt, that in an hour hath been my cousin.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, brave Mercutio is dead.
This day like fate on many others doth depend. This but begins the woe that others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt's back again.
Alive in triumph, and Mercutio is slain. Away to heaven respective lenity, and fire-eyed fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt, take thee villain back again, that thou late gavest me. For Mercutio is but little way above our heads, waiting for one of us to go with him. Either I or thou or both must join him.
Thou wretched boy, that disconsorts him here, shout with him hence!
This shall determine that! Ah! 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 Ah!
Romeo, away, be gone. The citizens are up and Tybalt slain. The prince will doom thee death if thou art taken. Hence, be gone away.
Oh, I'm fortune's fool.
Why dost thou stay?
While Juliet waits for Romeo to come take her away, the nurse arrives with both the news of Tybalt's death and that Romeo has been sentenced to banishment. Juliet grieves the loss of her cousin. She curses Romeo's name but quickly renounces these feelings of anger and devotes herself to grief for Romeo's banishment. Romeo, facing banishment, mourns for his life with Juliet.
And trouble deaf heaven with my bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse my fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, featured like him, with friends possessed, desiring this man's art in that grand scope, with what I most enjoy contented lease. Yet in these thoughts myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then my state, like to the lark at break of day, sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change my state with kings.
Grief-stricken, Juliet is approached by her mother. She is told the only news comparable to Romeo's banishment. Juliet is set to marry a man named Paris. She goes to Friar Lawrence, but when she arrives, she finds Paris telling Friar Lawrence about the coming wedding. After Paris leaves, she threatens suicide if Friar Lawrence cannot save her from marrying Paris. In an attempt to save Juliet's life and secure her marriage to Romeo, Friar Lawrence gives her a potion that'll make her appear as if dead the morning of the wedding. He assures her that when she awakes in the vault, Romeo will be there to take her away. He sends a messenger to Romeo to inform him of the plan. The message never arrives. The plan continues, and Juliet falls into a death-like sleep. The news spreads through Verona of the untimely death of the young Capulet. When Romeo hears of the passing of his love, he goes to Juliet's burial place, only to find Paris at the tomb. Paris, in a fit of rage, he draws his sword on Romeo. Romeo fights, pleading with Paris to seize the madness, but ultimately, Paris falls. His dying wish is to be buried with Juliet.
Here lies Juliet. A dead man in terror. My love. My wife. Death that has sucked the honey of thy breath hath yet had no power upon thy beauty. Dear Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Am I to believe that death is abhorrence, and that the lean abhorrent monster keeps thee here to be his paramour?
Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, show you doors of breath. Sylvie with an engrossing kiss. A dateless bargain to engrossing death. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary. Thy drugs were quick. So, with a kiss, I die.
Romeo! Alack! Alack! What blood is this that stains the stony entrance to this sepulchre? What mean these masterless and gory swords to lie discolored by this place of peace? Romeo! Oh, pale! Oh, Romeo! What? Who else? Paris, too? And steeped in blood. The lady stirs.
Oh, comfortable friar, where is my lord? I do remember well where I should be, and there I am. Where is my Romeo?
I hear some noise. Come, lady, from thy nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. A greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Come away. Lady, thy husband lies here dead. And Paris too. Come, lady, I'll dispose of thee among a sisterhood of holy nuns. Stay not to question, the watch is coming. Come, go, good Juliet. I stay here no longer.
Go, and get thee hence, for I will not away. What's this? A cup. What is in my true love's hand? Poison, I see. Has been his timely end. Oh, Charles, drunk all and left no friendly drop to help me after. Janusz? Then I'll be free. Oh, happy dagger. This is thy sheath. There, rest, and let me die.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence to have talk of more of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. for never was a story of more woe than Juliet and her Romeo.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis but a peevish boy, yet he talks well. But what care I for words? Yet words do well when he who speaks them pleases those that hear. It is a pretty youth, not very pretty, but sure he's proud, and yet his pride becomes him. The best thing in him is his complexion, and faster than his tongue did make offense, his eye did heal it up. He is not very tall, yet for his years he is tall. His leg is but so-so, and yet 'tis well. There was a pretty redness in his lip, a little riper and more lusty red than that in his cheek. 'Twas just the difference between the constant red and the mingled damask. There be some women, Sylvius, who had they marked him in the parcels as I did, would have gone near to fall in love with him. But for my part, I love him not, nor hate him not. Yet I have more cause to hate him than to love him. For what had he to do to chide at me? He said mine eyes black, my hair black. I marvel why I answer not again. But that is all one. Omittance is no pretense. I shall write him a very taunting letter. And thou shalt bear it, won't thou, Sylvius?
Now, Puck, a high-spirited fairy who lives in the forest, boasting to the fairy king Oberon of a mischievous trick played on Oberon's fairy queen, Titiana.
My mistress with the monster is in love. Near to her close and consecrated bower, while she was in her dull and sleeping hour, a crew of patches, rude mechanicals that worked for bread upon Athenian stalls, were met together to rehearse a play, intended for great Theseus's nuptial day. The shallowest thick-skinned of that barren sort, who Pyramus presented in their sport, were so kissing and entered in a break, when I did him at disadvantage take. And as his null eye fixate on his head, anon his Thisbe must be answered, and forth my mimic comes, would they him spy? As wild yeast at the creeping fowler eye, or russet pated chops, many in sort, rising and crying at the gun's report, sever themselves and madly sweep the sky. So at his side away his fellows fly. And here at our stamp, over and over one falls. He murder cries, and help from Athens calls. Their sense thus weak, lost with their fears thus strong, made senseless things again to do them wrong. For briars and thorns at their apparel snatch, some sleeves, some hats, all yielders from things catch. I led them on in this distracted fear, and left sweet Pyramus translated there. When in that moment it came to pass, Titania waked, and straightway loved an ass.
some keep back the clamorous owls that nightly hoots and wonders at our quaint spirits. Sing me now a sweet, and to your offices, and let me rest. You spotted snakes with double tongue, pointy hedgehogs be not seen, newts and blind ones do no wrong, come not near a fairy queen. Philomel with melody, singing a sweet lullaby, la 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 lullaby, la 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 lullaby. Never harm nor spell nor charm, come our lovely lady night. So good night with lullaby, la 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 la. It's away, now all is well, one aloof stands Symphanel. What hast thou done? Thou hast mistaken quite, and laid the lovers on some true love sight.
When fatal rules, that one man holding trod, a million fails, confounding oath on oath.
About the woods, go swifter than the wind, and Helena of Athens, look thou fine. Oh, fancy sick, she is pale of cheer, the sighs of love that cost the fresh blood, dear. By some illusion, thou bring her here. I'll charm his eyes, she do appear.
I go. I go. Look how I go. Swifter than arrow from the totter's bow. If we shadows hath offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear. And this weakened, idle theme, no more yielding but a dream. Gentles, do not reprehend. If you pardon, we will mend. And, as I am an honest puck, if we have unearned this luck, now to escape the serpent's stung, amends ere long, else the puck a liar call. So good night unto you all. Give me your hands, if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dim. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, for in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe, or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee.
the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won,
that will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place? Upon the heath,
there to meet Macbeth. I come, brave Malkin.
The paddock calls.
Anon. Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
Where hast thou been, sister? Killing swine.
Sister, where's thou? Oh, a sailor's wife had a chestnut in her lap. Give me, quoth I, a right thee which, though rum-fed Runyon cries. Her husband to Apollo? God, master of Turger. But in a sea, I'll thither sail, like a rat without a tail. I'll do, and I'll do.
I give thee a wind.
Thou art kind.
And I another. A drum! Macbeth, thou come!
The weird sisters, hand in hand, hosters of the sea and land, thus do go about, thrice to thrine and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up nine. Peace the charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How much longer the call before us? What are these? So withered and so wild in their attire? That look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it? Live you? Or are you off that man-made question? You seem to understand me?
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor. All hail, Macbeth. Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir. Why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? If you could look into the seeds of time, say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me. Neither beg nor fears your favors nor your hates.
Hail!
Hail! Hail!
Blessed is Macbeth and greater.
Not yet happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none.
All hail, Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers! Tell me more! By Sinel's death I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king sends not within a belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you!
The earth hath bubbles, as the water has, and these of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air, and what's incorporeal melted, as breath into the wind. Would they have stayed?
Are such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane route? It's the reason prisoner.
Your children shall be kings. And Thane of Cawdor too wanted not so.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the prophetess reports that they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. While as I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all held me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred to me the coming on of time, with hell king that be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightest not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art in Cawdor, and king shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature, ilk of human, to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldest be great, art not without ambition, but without the ill that attend it, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear and chastise with the valor of my tongue all from the golden round, which physical aid thou seem to have thee crowned withal.
The king sends word.
The raven himself is hoarse, that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, fill me from the crown to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctuous visitings of nature shall shake my fell purpose, nor keep the peace between the effect and it. Come, thick night, impel thee from the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold! Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater by both by all hell hereafter, thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my thane, is a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Their welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which for all our nights and days to come shall give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Look up only clear, the altar favor, ever is the fear. Leave all the rest to me.
Tell them the truth. I hope you'll find some paradise. Tell them you're...
I've been going through something. 1,855 days.
If it were done, when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could tremble up the consequence and catch with his success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, would jump the life to come. But in these cases, we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which overleaps itself and falls on the other. How now, what news?
He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
Know you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time, such I count thy love. Art thou afraid to be the same in thy own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which esteemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thy own esteem? Letting I dare not, wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage.
Prithee, peace! I dare do all that may become, who dare none.
What beast was this then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. To be more than what you were, you would be so much more than man. Nor time, nor place did adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you.
If we should fail.
We fail? But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we shall not fail. When Duncan is asleep, where to the router shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him. His two chamberlains will I with wine and with self, so convinced that memory, the wanderer of the brain, shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason, a limbeck only. What cannot you and I perform upon an unguarded Duncan? What put not upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great well?
Bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted mettle should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber, and used their buried daggers that they had done it?
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our grief and clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled and bent up, each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mark the time with fairest show. False face must hide what the false heart doth know.
The witch's prophecy had spoken of Macduff, and had said that he would be Macduff's downfall. In hopes of stopping this, puppeteered by his wife, Macbeth slaughters every member of Macduff's family. After the death of Lady Macbeth, Macbeth is left without drive or passion to fulfill the prophecy. Then, Macduff, being one of Duncan's supporters and the sole survivor of, is outraged.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine own sword? Whilst I see lives, the gashes do better upon them. Turn, hellhound, turn! Of all men else, I have avoided thee, but get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloodier villain than terms can give thee out.
Yeah! Yeah! Thou losest waver. As easy mayest thou the entrenched air with thine king's sword impresses make me bleed. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable tress. I'll not fight with thee. Ah!
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show, to gaze on the tower. What have thee as our rare monsters are, painted on a pole, and under it, here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the rabble's curse. Before my body, I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damn be him who first cries, "Hold enough!"
It's time to march the saints to their graves. It's me against the world in this fable. Which one is Cain and which one is
Hail, King of Scotland! Or for so thou art. Behold where stands the accursed usurper's head. The time is free. I see thee compass with thy kingdom's pearl, who speak my salutations in their minds, whose voices I desire to hear aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves, and make us even with you. My thanes and kingsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honor hath named. What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad, who fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth these cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like queen, who, as 'tis thought, by self and violent hands took off her life. This and what needful else calls to us, by the grace of grace, will be performed in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once, and to each one, whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.
As the Bankhead Community Theater. Please, if you are interested in joining our troupe at all, find us on Facebook, Bankhead Community Theater. And if any of your kiddos enjoyed what they saw tonight, our Young Thespians Camp starts Monday morning at 10 a.m. So you can still register for that at lyricartcenter.org. 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Thank you. 8 a.m. Monday morning. Okay, thank you all so much for coming. You may disperse. Go install.
You may disperse.
Go say hi to people. Please make sure all costume pieces